we're ready. I'm
Oh, we're
sorry.
ready?
Yeah. we're ready.
Okay. Lovely. I like the overall effect. I'm bouncing. And I think that, oh, it's nice having all that there. It's too bright.
It's too bright.
I think it's too bright. Or,
Wow. I was trying to make it brighter.
I mean, the story is really, this is lovely and it's sitting down and it's great and you're coming around here. But,
Yeah.
and,
I gotcha.
and I was at first thinking, well, maybe if we had some real bright here too, that might work. But you don't really want that. And so the story is the train and the scenic. I think you want the color, but you want it less bright. You want it a little more gray, a little more,
Yeah, you're right. You're always right.
Tell your husband that.
The other thing is, yeah, so I would just really tone those down, maybe keep those, but tone those down. This is not very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think all you would need is a few more, colors, a little more clumping. You've really got tree.
Well, that's the way it is in the photos, of course.
Yeah, we don't like
I
photos.
know. I know what you say about photos.
You're the god of your painting, and you want
I'm
to.
God, I can do what I want.
You can do what you want. So, like in here, it's different. It's, you know, the grass, it's not all the same. So I think if you just combine a few and or put a little bit of color in there maybe, because that would help bring the color over too. Just make this a little less regular, a little more interesting. The train is great. And in fact, all of this is great. But I just, that's not doing it for me. And then the final thing, and once you fix these first, and then look, do you need a little color in here? I don't know. Maybe not.
I
But
thought it'd be too much.
it might be. It might be. It's hard to tell. But it could be just a little more blue up here and then going to the lighter, or a little more obvious of the white, or just a little more variation, because that's a pretty large area of almost no shapes, no color. I mean, no color variation. So do these first and then think about it.
Thank you.
Okay.
It was a dollar frame and I had to put something in it. It has a lot of.
I'm not sure that that's the painting for that frame. It's, that frame needs a, Rembrandt woman, or you know, it's such an old-timey frame, and it's such a modern looking,
It looks like a
Painting.
portrait frame, actually.
it looks like a portrait frame.
And it was a, it was underneath, you know, I thought, oh, I found something.
Okay. You know, it just, if you want it to be a non-portrait thing, and I think you have to pull some of this color and some of this color into it. It clashes with that frame.
Okay.
So if you,
the color scheme.
What if you want to do birds, what is the real yellow one, the meadowlark or the,
Yeah.
Goldfish.
goldfinch maybe? The ones that look almost gold might help. Or or have, you know how grapes actually look golden in some lights? You could do it that way. You could, but I think with this frame, and you sort of did it with the chest, but not enough.
Okay.
So maybe leaving these birds, make that color more this, and have your leaves glowing golden or something to make it match the frame more.
Oh.
Cause right now that purple is really kinda clashing with those. If I'm ignoring the frame, which is really hard to do,
You could pop it out, can't you? You could pop it out.
I mean, the composition is.
Oh, yeah, I didn't paint it in the, yeah, I didn't even have it in the frame when I was painting it at all, so. Why don't you take it out so she can look at it just better? Take it out of the frame.
Well,
But you can see it, can't you see it?
yeah, it's hard to ignore that frame.
Like that, oh, well, yeah, no, I wouldn't spend that much time doing it, yeah, okay.
Okay, it feels a little bit clumpy, and again, I think both the solution to the frame and to the painting is to get more color.
I've sort of got some rust on the leaves too, but that's not, maybe should have
It's
put more
not
rust
enough.
on the leaves.
I don't know. I want some of that real gold. You've gotta just get some
Gold.
yellowy,
Gold,
some
yeah.
goldy,
Yeah.
something in there, cause there's so much here. And you could, you've got no variation in your branches, no variation of color. You could put some of the hints of other color in the branches and maybe pull it off. I just think it's too flat.
But that's for sure.
Yeah. And usually you are very stylized but not flat. This one strikes me as very flat. And there's things like these that are just sort of not connected to anything.
Mm-hmm. I think maybe, more leaves look like it'd be too fussy for the frame or something, I don't know.
Can't be too fussy for that.
Well, the values are all pretty simple.
Yeah, it's not, you do have lights and you have the darks, but I want more clumps, more connections, more, more frou-frou, really, to hit for that frame. Or paint a portrait in this frame and have a different, a different frame on this painting.
I think the sizes of each one of the objects are pretty much the same too, so maybe if you made some of the leaves a lot bigger,
That's
or
probably a
the
good
grapes a
suggestion,
lot bigger
yeah.
too.
And that may be why
Yeah,
I'm
give it some
thinking
depth.
it's just,
A little bit of depth.
yeah. You do have a couple of leaves covering, going over each other, but not really many. They're just dots.
Oh, yeah.
And you're not making it cohesive.
That amount of leaves probably would make a very good harvest of grapes.
No. This particular plant is putting all of its effort into the grapes. But again, you can have more variation in color you can have some of the yellow and the orange in the purple grapes, or in the leaves, or on the branches, and that's gonna help. Just getting a little more, have it less clumpy, all the same size, all not intertwined.
I was worried about how that vine is gonna stay up like that if it doesn't have a wire I like the part where I put the wire in, cause that made sense. Then I
Right.
didn't know if you had really extend the wire up, like as if it was going further down the thing. Because
Well-
just the vine itself isn't gonna go like that.
It's not gonna go like that. But you're a very stylized painter, and I don't know that with stylized you have to have reality. That part,
Stylized would be reality.
no, it's really not. It's, I mean, that part doesn't really bother me. I mean, you also have the bird and the grapes the same size and they aren't.
No.
So
no.
you're not in
You
reality.
wanna know how often I've tried to make the grapes bigger, or the vice versa, or something, though I've kept the birds the same, but they just come out the same size no matter what.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying is you're not doing reality anyway. So if you don't want a line there, I don't think you have to put it in. It's more a color and a shape. Like the bird and the leaf are just barely touching. They should be overlapping a little bit more. They should be, you've got well, it is sort of a size thing, because your leaf relative to the size of the grapes is probably
That wouldn't be,
off. And there would be leaves over some of the grapes.
well, I do have leaves over some of the grapes there.
Yeah, this is the one that really bothers me, and this leaf is just sort of there. But I just keep working on it and making different size shapes, and then more of the gold and the red in there.
Jennifer needs to have her critique first, cause she has to leave early.
Oh, I don't have to go till 10:45.
Which is yours? This one?
No, the two on the right.
Oh, okay.
I'm good on time though.
Okay,
Yeah.
well then. I like the sort of pointillist feel, but I'm not feeling really directed on my eye. This is your only real purple, and it's not even really giving me a path in. This feels like maybe you're wanting me to go there, but I don't have a way with either color or shape. And if you can call this a start and now say, okay, how are you gonna draw my eye around this whole painting?
Yeah.
And you can do it with color or value or shape.
I think, like, cause I'm still in the middle of this
Mhm.
one, and I think what I was gonna do is kind of add more to the purple flowers in the front to bring those obviously closer, and the other things back further.
That's it, but this is like a fence. They
Oh,
don't
like
have-
it's stopping you from
yeah,
going
from
back.
going in. They don't have much of an interlock with the background through jiggy jaggies.
Mm-hmm.
It's just straight. There's no purple up here to make me wander around.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty much the same value all the way back. So that the whole thing is standing up instead of inviting me in.
Okay.
So rather than, I would probably not do the purple yet,
Okay.
but figure out how you wanna get me, I mean, this could be a path.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe there should be a break in the purple or something.
Mm-hmm.
If this is a path and it's so bright, maybe you want some brighter here, not just dots, but as a shape. I mean, a shape made with dots, cause that's how you're painting it.
Yeah.
But, some way, and how are you gonna resolve this to make it interesting for me to go over there?
Mm-hmm.
And part of what I think you want is some purples in there.
Okay.
Now, it doesn't have to be purple, it can
Yeah.
be grayed purple, it can be, toned down. But, I'm not really, I'm almost here. I'm finding it very difficult to find interesting things over here.
Okay.
And so, what is it about this that you like? And make it so that I like it too.
Okay.
You know, this is, you were in a forest and it's all lush and beautiful, but give me a path. Give my eye a path.
Mm-hmm.
And tell me where you really like it. And then the other thing is, like this red is kind of purpled and that really works. But some of these reds, are you a red-green palette? Are you a purple, yellow, green palette? That works. But some of these are like random marks that don't really make sense in your palette.
Mm-hmm.
You can have a little of it, but think in terms of making it a harmonious color palette.
Okay.
And either opposites or triads or something that makes it really interesting to see. Because you've got a lot of colors in here.
Mm-hmm.
You got blues here and a tiny bit here, but it's not a blue, green, yellow palette because you've got all these purples. And what about these reds? And
Yeah.
limit yourself a little, I think.
Okay.
At least until you get it further along.
Okay.
And then go for it. But I think you're a little chaotic.
Yes, definitely.
I like the treatment of trees. I mean, that's very unusual. And it is working. And then the top third is a completely different color palette with there's a little bit of blue down here, but there's no green or orange or anything up here. And it's a little bit jarring. You can have dramatic skies that aren't blue. Or you can have more blue-green in here. You have some, but it doesn't really look like the same painter painted the top and the bottom.
Yeah. I hated this guy, so this is good. This is helping me.
And even your brush stroke is very different. This is an unusual, but I think it's working brush stroke. I sort of have a path in. Probably enough for me. This is a little bit different, but it works with this. I mean, this is a bit strong-edged and not the same painter who painted this. This is a totally different painter. So if you're going to have, I mean, calm areas is good, but the sky is painted too calmly, I think,
Okay.
for the method of painting here. And this might be a little tight for the method of painting here.
Okay.
And what it might help is just a little bit of the brush strokes showing.
Okay.
Because you're all, on most of that painting, you're all about the brush strokes.
Yeah. I think, you know how you said the other painting was chaotic,
Uh-huh.
and I really have been told that before a lot about my paintings. And so I think I was trying to do that with this guy, like give a little bit of area of rest, or
Which is good. Which is good.
Yeah.
But you might have overshot the mark.
So bring some color from down
A
below
little bit
up.
of color up in there.
Okay.
I mean, look at the clouds This one, for instance, has a little bit of green and gray and brush strokes and this cloud is the same painter.
Yeah.
I don't see that those are.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and the sky itself, maybe this side is, but resting areas are good.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, there is a lot of chaos, so I think that's why this part works, because it is more resting. But this is just too much of a color that's not shown elsewhere, that without the brush stroke.
Okay. Yeah.
So a little more, and a little more, yeah, I mean, like you've got the greens there,
Mm-hmm.
so you can do it in the sky.
Yeah. Okay.
And if you're gonna have that strong a blue, you're gonna have to blue your yellow green a little bit more,
Okay.
or something, make it the
More
same painter top and bottom,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah. Thank you.
Is it? Oh. Oh, I knew that. Yeah. That one's fun. I like that one. All of this is incredibly strong. And then, oh, there's a bird. Can we somehow get some yellows and oranges on him? Just to show, like the beak could be that orange with a head of yellow on it. And a little bit, instead of white behind it, a little dark there. Just pull him out just a little bit more. Because this is so strong that he kind of disappears.
Oh, okay.
And maybe you don't care, but I would think just by darkening a little behind him and really hit a bit of real yellow on that beak, he's gonna get more integrated into that whole thing.
Maybe I can just fly away.
No, I mean, I like the placement of him. I just think he needs to be, you need a little something to pull me down there. And maybe all you need is a little hit of yellow on his rock. Just some way to finish the circle. Cause this is really fun. Were you in a cave?
My son went to Kauai, and he went in the cave, and then I found that cave with the sunset on the internet. He had the cave, but he didn't have the sunset.
Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, I think you did a beautiful job of it, and it's very interesting. I really would just work on him just a little, just to get a little bit of color in there. And because it's sunset, you could easily have, I mean, you've got some light here, but you could have some of the oranges and yellows down in here.
I think in the picture there was actually a little more of the oranges on the cave, on the rocks.
Yeah, they're great. I wouldn't try to touch them. It's just right here that I just want a little bit more oomph to continue the story. Or you can call it done. It's very good. But I would put a little bit of something there.
Okay.
And a little touch on his beak.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know what I did with this beak. I can't see from here.
Yeah, it's orange, but it's not very orange.
Oh, okay.
You know, it's not enough to pull down. And a little dark, maybe, actually, you have a touch of orange in the water, maybe a little more orange around his head, just to see that. It doesn't have to be on him, but I just want him to stand out a little bit more.
I didn't notice that.
Huh?
I didn't know he was so important.
I think he is to the composition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Cause, yeah, I really do think that's an important part.
Oh,
I am glad to kill myself.
I'm just starting.
Yeah, I didn't think it was finished.
It's done.
Is it done? Oh.
Changed my sky twice already.
I like the sky.
I still think it needs to be a little lighter.
Actually, you know what I thought it was? An eddy in the water.
Oh.
That's what it looks like. You know, it looks like you're above, there on a cliff, and there's the water behind us. It does. Which is nice.
Yeah.
Don't touch it until you do them.
Yeah. That's where I'm at.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As far as the drawing goes, the shoulder, the head, and the arm are gonna make an awkward tangent, I think.
His arm goes up that way.
No, it's this part here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, that's fine. I might just make that here and that here.
Okay, you're right.
Yeah,
It's too,
it's too
Straight.
straight.
yeah, that's, yeah,
So-
it is.
Just a touch here and a touch here, and otherwise it looks right.
Okay,
I mean, as far as I
yeah, you're right.
yeah. Okay, that's all I can do.
That's fine. You're where I was at anyway.
Huh?
I said, that's where I was at anyway, thinking, I had to get this, put my people in now, I'm just working too much on it.
Yeah, yeah. Have I seen him?
Gary, occasionally paints with us, but he hasn't in a while. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, that's who it is.
Yeah, this is he originally had a red shirt
Uh-huh.
and, you know, and a different kind of cap, but I'm trying to do a little pop art with it, but still keep it realistic,
Uh-huh.
or sort of realistic, so. And I'm trying to make the shirt not look like a prison shirt.
Are you gonna leave it that white, or are you still
I'm
in
still
progress?
Still working on it. I mean the dog.
Well, if you had a little of this color, maybe just really lightly into
Uh-huh.
that shirt, that, but maybe not, I don't know.
Well, I could give it a try.
Yeah, give that a try, just so that it's, but you're doing pop art, but just so it's not quite so cut out feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think you started putting some grays, but if it's this defined, I do think you need a little more shadows in there, or
Yeah.
variation in color. That line bothers me.
I just recently changed, he had this one, his left arm that's coming around the dog actually had a hand on it, the one on the other side. It came around and had a hand, you saw part of a hand, and I didn't like that, I took that out, and so I changed it so that the other arm is coming around to support the dog.
Yeah, but that's not what bothers me.
Yeah, and I may have gotten and then I added
It's too far in.
is it too far in?
It needs to be going that way.
I moved it about an inch out.
And this arm, I think, would curve this, or this would come up a little here or something. It's not connecting to that arm.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
But it's an
I'll
easy
just,
fix.
I'll just make it bigger.
Yeah, because I was looking at him going, oh God, his neck is way too small. But it's not his neck, it's the shoulder. Yeah. cause he's pretty hefty here,
Yeah.
and he's hefty here, and then he's got the little bitty skinny, so that comes out. Yeah, because you have so defined some parts, I just feel like that should be darker, you know, that you should continue on and make
Yeah.
a little darker here, cause you've got real darks here, but then his teeth are flat white the whole way. I think you either have to figure out that you're modeling or that you're not at all, but you're
Right.
doing both. These eyes, and that's very expressive, and then there's no shadow in there. And so I think, because I really like the way you've done that, that I
Still a
would
lot of
put a
work to
few
go.
shadows in.
Still a lot of work to go on that.
Yeah, okay.
I love his face.
I know the expression just really,
Yeah,
I could feel it as soon as I saw it. It's really
yeah,
expressive.
yeah. No, it's really a lovely start. I just think a little more shadowing and
Yeah.
fix that one line.
Yeah,
You probably would have anyway.
I might have, you know, I started, the face was sort of all flat, and I'm just trying to work on getting the
Yeah.
dimensions in.
Yeah. I mean, it's beautifully done because it's recognizable.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep going a little.
Yeah.
And when you do the shadows, consider having a little of that color in them.
Okay.
Just a little.
Yeah, that's a
somewhere.
good idea.
So he's sick?
Yeah, he has heart problems.
Oh dear.
He hasn't felt like painting.
Pain.
How old is he?
I'm not sure.
A sky that matches the ground. Good job.
It's the same underpainting. It's the
No.
very core underpainting.
Okay. So you have a lot of your whites over here.
Mm-hmm.
But isn't this what we're wanting to look at? It's kind of, I think you need more value contrast in
In
here.
the front of the building.
Yeah,
Okay.
cause it's almost hard to force yourself to look over there because this is so luscious and bright and contrasty, and so my eyes really going here, but I feel like this is where you're really wanting me, or at least bring me back.
Yeah,
And this up here would be catching more light than this here, cause that's under something,
right,
but it's pretty much the same value. So if you now take some of the bright yellow, bright white, and just put some in here
okay,
to get me back over here, and then maybe right under here would be really shadowed. So having this the same value as this is probably not realistic. It would probably be a shadow there.
right,
And then, you know, then you can take it from there. Maybe the top of this awning or something has just a touch of the light. But it feels like it's a fabulous start that you haven't finished.
I haven't,
Okay?
but you know, I've learned
Bring me back.
with the critiques that this is an ideal time to bring in a painting for you.
Yeah.
Before I'm done,
Before you're going, I'm not
there's
changing
enough
anything.
to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it could be really good, but you really absolutely need more value here.
Great, good,
A lot of it. Okay?
thanks.
Thank you. You got something over there, don't you, Pat?
What, the one I'm working on?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
It's on the easel, Pat.
And the flower, do you have
No,
a
she was
flower
looking
here?
at the flower.
Oh,
I knew there were more. No, that one's not very far along.
No.
I don't think it's-
no, the flower's hardly, I just barely started.
Yeah, that one's not very far along.
I haven't done the foreground as well.
Wait a minute.
Oh, I can we take it off and put it over there or not?
Sure.
Say hi, everybody.
So, do you feel it's finished from here up
Almost,
and not here down? That's what you're saying?
pretty much. Probably do a little more work on the background mountains, but.
They don't, I
Feels
mean,
like the
they
trees
seem
in the
fine
sky
to
are
me.
probably done.
I like the way the sky is surrounding those trees. I think the trees are looking too flat because they don't have hits of color here and there. And if you, and this is really cool. What if you just here and there put a little yellow on the, or a little lighter. You sort of have here.
Yeah, I kinda started to.
You started to.
I'm invisible.
You're invisible.
Let's talk about this painting.
Yeah, see, this, where it is a little bit different, works better for me than this. It's all the same. And I don't think it would take too much to get a little bit of,
Yeah, the thing with it is if you put too much bright in there, you bring it too close, and it's supposed to be back. I didn't want it to come forward.
okay, well, maybe you have to have that one done, but to me, the whole story is those clouds surrounding the tree.
Yeah,
So, and the clouds are gorgeous, and the sky works. I just want a little bit of color up in those trees, somewhere. And not a lot, but just enough to say they're not dead.
yeah,
Because they kind of look
they kinda look dead.
dead right now, a little bit. And this is so vibrant. The mountains don't bother me. What are you gonna do here?
Pink flowers.
Pink? Oh. And you need some pink here. Oh, pink clover.
Those are tulips.
Are they tulips? Who are you reading?
That's a wooden shoe.
Huh?
That's that wooden shoe.
Oh. I see pink in this tree.
You see pink in the tree?
I do. I do, and I think you're gonna need it, or the whole, if you over accentuate this bright pink,
Mm-hmm.
and here we have the yellows, this is gonna be so demanding and not lead us back up here,
Oh, I wasn't gonna make it real demanding.
okay? Because this is really the story, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
And you gotta make this one exciting, and pink is hard to fight without pink.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, just a little bit of highlights. Don't you see pink right in there?
It's got a lot of warmth.
Yeah. If you use your imagination.
A little bit, yeah. It's got some warmth in it. Yeah, that's gonna be nice.
Wonderful sky.
It is a gorgeous sky, yeah. Yeah, good.
Thank you.
Okay.